At the Army-Navy game, you're going to see the word Bastogne on Army's uniforms. But do you know why? Buckle up, kiddos, because I'm taking you for a ride on the History Hot Mess Express. This year's Army-Navy game is going to be on December 14th. That is 2 days before the start of what was called the Battle of the Bulge back in 1944. By December of 1944, everybody knew the Nazis were going to lose World War II, except for Hitler. Dude was so cracked out on all these drugs that he was literally delusional. By the way, the reason he was on so many drugs was because a few months before, there had been one of his own guys, Klaus von Stauffenberg, who, along with a whole bunch of other rebels, tried to blow him up. And though those rebels did not succeed, obviously, he was injured in the attack. Get this, a freaking table leg was in between the briefcase that had the boom and Mustache Man. If this bomb had been on the other side of that table leg, he'd have been dead, probably. But instead, he just gets hurt and then goes on a whole bunch of painkillers and is literally Delulu in December of 44. The Allies had invaded Normandy June 6th of that year, so for about 6 months, they've been making progress through Europe, all the way up through France, through Belgium, and then up into the Netherlands. As the Allies are advancing, they are liberating the towns that they come to, and they're making their way towards Germany, with the goal of making it to the capital city of Berlin to force the surrender of the German leadership. They get darn close. They get like a couple dozen miles away from the actual border with Germany. But Tiny Mustache Man, in his Delulu, says, no, we can stop him. We can push him back, no problem. You've heard of Custer's last stand, maybe. This was Hitler's last stand. Of course, being the coward that he was never anywhere close to the front lines, but anyway. Nevertheless, the Allied advance is halted a couple dozen miles before they reach Germany. And one unit in particular that is in a particularly bad way is the 101st Airborne Division. The Airborne are trained as infantry, but they are also trained to jump out of perfectly good airplanes. The role of paratroopers is generally, especially in World War II, to go in behind enemy lines to be able to wreak havoc before the rest of the wave of the army comes through. For example, on D-Day, they jumped and landed in Normandy on land and tried to mess things up on land before the troops stormed the beaches from the sea. And then from there, they fought their way up to Germany. If you're as big of a history nut as I am, you've probably seen Band of Brothers, which follows the 101st Airborne Division, which is the unit I'm talking about here. Unit, company, division, I'm honestly not sure what the difference is. So the 101st gets completely surrounded in or around the city of Bastogne. Like, imagine a donut. They're the hole in the donut, and the Germans are the part of the donut you can eat. Literally no way out. Oh, and it's December in Northwestern Europe, so it's freaking freezing. So obviously, 101st is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Rock is one band of Germans, and the hard place is the other band of Germans. They had a hard time even getting supplies dropped in because it was so foggy that the Allies couldn't see where it was that the Americans were, and kept dropping the supplies in German territory instead. Not only are they out in the elements 24/7 with not enough equipment, not enough ammunition, not enough clothes, not enough food, but they're also surrounded on all sides by the Germans. So, German commander, general, whatever he was, realizes what a good spot he's in and what a crappy spot the Americans are in. So he sends a little telegram or message or whatever to General McAuliffe, who was leader of this group. Military people, I know I'm probably not using the right terminology, and I'm sorry, it's been a long day, and I can't think straight. But anyway, the German leader sends a message to the American leader saying, we gotcha, surrender or face total annihilation. This is my favorite part of the story. And you know what McAuliffe says back to him? McAuliffe said, I ain't wasting my time or my ink or my energy on you. He gives the Germans one single word: nuts. So the Americans do not indeed surrender, and they fight their way out. Of course, not without heavy casualties, just like pretty much every battle of World War II. But you know what they didn't do? Surrender. Because that would have been freaking nuts. Army's uniforms for this game are some of the best uniforms I have ever seen any team wear. I mean, there's like 6, 7 different references to the Battle of the Bulge within the uniforms. Uniforms are black, but they've got this smattering of white on the shoulders to represent the snow of Bastogne. They have various symbols from a deck of cards on the helmet, which I believe ties into how they communicated with each other in the field. There are a few things I know I'm missing about the uniforms, but I reposted a video a few days ago that goes into a lot more detail on the specific elements of the uniforms. The official Army football page already posted a video with a lot of cool firsthand footage of the battle itself, as well as some up-close shots of the uniforms. Go check that out. It'll make any red-blooded American want to just run through a brick wall screeching like a bald eagle. So when you're watching the Army-Navy game and somebody wonders, what's that on their uniform? Now you got a story to tell them. Let me know if you want the history behind the inspiration for Navy's uniforms for this game, because that is also a super cool story. But I think one video is probably all I got in me for tonight. I'm gonna go eat some pizza and, let's be honest, probably watch Band of Brothers for the 17th time. Okay, love you, bye!